Becoming an archer has been the go-to archetype for many when playing Skyrim over the years, and today it's still one of the most popular characters to choose from. So in this video, we will explore a collection of mods that expand upon and enhance your archery playing experience. Jumping straight in, we have the totally awesome mod called Bow Rapid Combo version 3. On the surface, this mod adds the ability to perform a rapid shot, essentially meaning you press one key and your character automatically shoots a quick arrow. This is great for active combat when you don't have time to draw and release an arrow manually. It also utilizes the detry key utils mod, so you can perform different kinds of rapid shots depending on the direction your character is moving. But perhaps the biggest change this mod introduces is melee combat to archery. You can now craft a special secondary dagger and with the use of a hotkey perform a series of melee attacks while equipped with a bow. Meaning as an archer, you can now easily switch between ranged and melee attacks without actually having to change your weapon. This totally changes the dynamic of ranged combat, allowing you to get up close and personal with your enemies and finish them off with a quick strike. It also opens up a more aggressive playing style as an archer, instead of being forced to become the ever popular stealth archer. On top of all that, this mod adds an additional 2 features when you reach level 60 in the archery skill. The first is called Perfect Timing, that will allow you to shoot 2 arrows if performed in a certain time frame, rewarding a fast draw and release playstyle, and the opposite called Power Shot, that increases the damage of your arrow the longer you hold it. This is all done automatically and doesn't require any input from the player, but is balanced around needing to have a level 60 in your archery skill. Altogether, this mod really expands upon the ranger playstyle, giving you many more options in different combat scenarios, and is implemented in a way that feels smooth instead of clunky. The other main mod of this overhaul is called Archery Locational Damage. Now if you took this mod at face value, you would think your archery damage is multiplied depending on where you hit your enemy, and you would be absolutely right. Hitting the head will grant 2 times more damage, the neck 1.5 times, and arms, body or legs are your standard damage, which is already a great feature, rewarding both accuracy and precision. But this mod takes it even further by also adding unique effects to each location as well. For example, hitting the head of your target may cause them to stagger, or hitting a leg has a chance to reduce the movement speed of your target. This introduces a fantastic immersive element to how each arrow affects the target in a realistic way, again providing a way to reward accuracy. At this point it may seem a little imbalanced, but all these features affect both you the player and the enemy, meaning archery combat becomes more deadly for everyone. Now you can mitigate some of these effects by wearing armor. When wearing armor, the damage and the effect from each location will be reduced, and by design heavy armor will be more beneficial than light, keeping an immersive and balanced approach to how the mod works. I also want to note that all of these settings can be adjusted in a detailed configuration file, allowing you to create your very own archery experience. And for this reason, I also highly recommend using the Dodgeable projectile attacks mod. This mod tweaks the projectile speed so you can now actually block or dodge out of the way of an incoming ranged attack. This is extremely helpful in a busy combat situation and balances out Skyrim combat very well, especially when used alongside a mod like Archery Locational Damage, so you can actually interact with and negate ranged damage if you are good enough. Up next is a mod called Phenderix Arcane Arsenal, which provides a variety of elemental arrows that each come with its own unique effect. There are your classic fire, frost and lightning arrows that follow the same flavor as the original spells, as well as new types such as water that unleashes a powerful wave, or wind that will force your enemies backward. Not every arrow is built around dealing damage, however. There are also some great utility arrows, such as the light arrow that will cast a light wherever it lands, great for traversing darker dungeons, or the transmogrify arrow that will turn your enemies into a chicken. On top of all that, each arrow type has 3 ranks, increasing in power with each level, but there are also more powerful master versions of these arrows that will have an even larger effect. For example, the Master Fire Arrow will explode on impact into a fire storm. To obtain the arrows in game, you will need to craft them through an in-game menu and is balanced around your enchantment skill level and magicka spell pool, so the more powerful you become, the more powerful arrows you can craft, altogether creating a unique and enchanting way to add magical effects to your archery skill. Then we have the mod called True Directional Movement, which is a great mod by itself and modernizes Skyrim by adding full 360 degree movement. But the reason we want it for archery is the lock-on feature, allowing you to lock onto and hit your target with more accuracy, especially in third person. Now this doesn't mean you have aimbot and all your shots will hit. You can still miss, most notably when you or your enemy is moving around. But of course, if you don't want to use this feature, you can just ignore it. Up next, we have a purely visual mod called ElSopa's Quiver Redone, which will reimagine all the classic quivers into some stunning new designs. These are all a big improvement from the originals in my opinion, providing both more detail and new flavour to each quiver. Some of my favourites include the new Forsworn quiver or the classic Iron Arrow quiver, but they all look fantastic and come with very high quality textures. Now let's move on to some animations, and for these we will be using all the Vanargand archery mods by Verolevi. These cover your movement animations when wielding a bow, as well as when drawing and shooting your arrow. There are also equivalent sneak animations while wielding a bow, and because all of these animations are made by the same author, they all follow a similar structure and come together perfectly to form a cohesive archery experience. The same can be said for crossbow animations, which are again made by the same author under the same Vanargand name and cover all the same animations, meaning your crossbow and bow will complement each other to form a complete collection. Now if you're someone who prefers first person, we will be using the comprehensive first person animation overhaul, which does include animations for all weapons, but you can pick and choose on a one-by-one basis if you just wanted the bow animation for example. And I recommend not using the crossbow animation because I actually prefer the Crosshair-aligned crossbow mod, which lines up your crossbow to the center of your screen, making it feel a lot more visceral, as if you are really aiming down sight at your target. It's a small little addition to your game, but one that makes using a crossbow significantly better. Another great and simple crossbow mod is called Craftable Crossbows. In Skyrim, you cannot craft a crossbow until you have completed part of the Dawnguard questline, and you can never learn to make a crossbow if you choose to become a vampire. This mod provides a simple workaround, allowing you to craft them right from the very start of your playthrough. I know the crossbow is a very popular weapon amongst some people, so this mod is a great little addition. And finally, I wanted to cover a couple of mods that add actual bows to the game. Funnily enough, I think the best bow you can find is actually the Bow of Shadows that was included in the Creation Club content from the anniversary update way back in 2021. This bow not only comes with great stats, but also has a very unique enchantment by turning you invisible whenever you equip the bow, making it perfect for both combat and sneaky situations. And then for some more bows in general, my favourite is the mod called Unique Bow Collection that adds 10 new bows to the game, each with a special enchantment. To obtain these bows, you will have to find them hidden throughout the world, which I think lends itself well to the game. The special effect from each bow is not overpowered either, and is balanced well within Skyrim combat. I love these types of mods that add special items for you to find and promote active exploration, as well as rewarding you with unique artifacts to enhance your character build. Now before we finish, I do want to touch on a couple of popular archery mods that I have not included in this overhaul. The first is called Archery Gameplay Overhaul, which is incredibly popular but hasn't been updated for a while, and also covers so many different aspects of archery which makes it very hard to form a compatible mod list. For that reason, if you want to use some of the mods mentioned in this video, I recommend not using Archery Gameplay Overhaul. And the second is called Skyrim Arrow Overhaul, which I actually think is a fantastic mod that adds a lot of realism to Skyrim archery, but again it includes so many different features making it difficult to include in larger load orders. Also, some features, while very realistic, make archery a little unfun and hard to use in my opinion, but of course you are welcome to try it out for yourself. And that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you again next time. Happy hunting.